2019 Teacher of the Year Banquet and Celebration. Will you please stand and join me in the flag salute? I salute the flag. Okay, I botched the first Teacher of the Year Banquet. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I think most everyone has been served. I hope you have secured your decadent dessert while we're beginning our program. Before we begin, I do want to introduce some dignitaries that we have with us tonight. First of all, I would like to start with our Board of Education members. Dr. David Kincaid is the president of our board. Will you please stand up, Dr. Kincaid? We have board member Dawn Newsom. Board member Robin Riley. Board member Judy Trout. And board member Nancy Zimmershed. And if you don't know it already, teachers, these ladies and gentlemen support you like you would not even believe. All 5 of our board members are here tonight supporting you. I would also like to introduce our mayor, Mayor Nicholson. I always call him Mayor. Mayor Homer Nicholson. Thank you for coming. Our city manager, Craig Stevenson. He is married to one of our fine teachers at Roosevelt. And Representative Steve Vaughn is here with us tonight. And we're so glad he's here. And I know Senator Fields was going to try to make it. Has anyone seen Senator Fields? Mr. Vaughn, Representative Vaughn, is he here yet? Okay. Well, if you haven't noticed, our theme for the ceremony tonight is Team Ponca, Together We're Better. And this is such a fitting theme for Oklahoma right now. I know it's a fitting theme because I know Oklahoma educators are struggling to stay optimistic. Many of you are finding it harder and harder to not give up on our state right now. Fortunately, many of our state legislators, including our own, have proven themselves to be Oklahomans rather than Democrats or Republicans. So hope remains. I urge you to remember why you are in this business. You have many students depending on you each and every day. And one thing to remember is that optimism always leads to resilience. We must strive to stay optimistic, and we can't do that unless we work as a team. Without a doubt, we can be more optimistic as a team. We are Team Ponca, and together we're better. Please don't give up on Oklahoma just yet. To quote Larry Bell, on your worst day on the job, you are still some child's best hope. Now, I want you to give a big round of applause to our Campus Smart people, Chef Jeff Denton and the workers. Come out and wave at everybody. Delicious meal. They work tirelessly to prepare fine meals for us. I also want to thank our central administration staff who did the decorating. I think the theme is quite fitting. So if you are one of our central administration support staff members and you help decorate, will you please stand? Nobody's standing, and here they all are. Barbara and Cherie, they do an awesome job. They have everything well prepared and keep us on track as best they can. Also, I would like to thank our servers tonight, which is our Poe High Student Council members. They were all very respectful and polite, as always. And wherever Ms. Easley is, thank you, Ms. Easley. You're a fabulous sponsor. Also, our decorations were actually made by Troy Buller and our Business Informational Technology Education Program. They did a great job. You can score some great loot if you talk nicely to Mr. Buller. He will always do that for you. His students are a great help to us and a great support to this district. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Mr. Chad Kyleman. He is on the Professional Development Committee and also the Teacher of the Year Selection Committee. And he's going to talk to you just a little bit about how the process is done for the selection.
Good evening. Contrary to what your program says, I am not Keith Crocker. I'm Chad Kyleman, and I direct the choirs at East Middle School and here at the high school, as well as being the chairman for this committee. And on behalf of the educators in Ponca City, I thank you for being here tonight to honor our profession and to acknowledge those among us that were selected as Teacher of the Year candidates. And the Teacher of the Year selection process begins in November, as each school holds its own election. All faculty members are eligible to be selected. However, only full-time classroom teachers who plan to remain in the district may compete for State Teacher of the Year. Nominees submit a portfolio that includes his or her philosophy of teaching, thoughts on a current educational issue, and a number of other engaging topics. All references to the nominees' names and schools are removed after submission to ensure anonymity. The review committee meets to read and score each portfolio using a rubric, and the 3 highest scoring portfolios determine which nominees become the Teacher of the Year finalists. The 3 finalists are interviewed by the entire Teacher of the Year committee, and interview questions are selected just prior to the interviews for objectivity. And the committee votes by secret ballot, and the winner will be announced later this evening. And again, on behalf of the Teacher of the Year committee, I congratulate and commend all Teacher of the Year nominees. To be selected shows true dedication and passion for students, colleagues, and our community, not to mention the perseverance through the wee hours preparing the portfolio. Congratulations again.
Well, good evening. I'm Brett Smith. I'm the Executive Director of Operations, and I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our current Teacher of the Year. Katie Thomason has been an ambassador for education, representing the Ponca City schools this past year, and he's done a wonderful job. Katie tells me it's been a great privilege and honor to serve the Ponca City Public Schools as Teacher of the Year. She mentions that many of the teachers in this room have helped her along this journey. Katie is a Ponca City High School graduate, class of 2008, so this marks her 10th year since her graduation from Poe High. She is Ponca City born and raised, and she truly understands what it means whenever we say once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat. She has a compassionate heart for her students and her community and refuses to give up hope that she will make a difference in the education system for the better of the students in the state of Oklahoma. Please help me welcome to the podium our 17-18 Teacher of the Year, Katie Thompson.
Teacher of the Year banquet. And let me just say that PCPS does a phenomenal job with the food here. But it was a great experience. It was really amazing being surrounded by other teachers who were selected by their districts as well. I was also blessed with the experience, and kind of unique when I got to go to UCO to celebrate with their graduating class of teachers. And they actually got the National Teacher of the Year to speak. And that was just such a big deal to me because she was only within her 10th year of teaching as National Teacher of the Year. That I often tell myself sometimes I'm too young or it'll take me a few years till I get there. But I finally realized that, especially this year, just why wait? It doesn't matter your age or how long you've been teaching. Make sure you go for and fight for what you believe in. I just want to thank Ponca City Public Schools for everything they have done. I was born here, I grew up, I felt success, I felt failure. I was loved and cared for, then I graduated and was welcomed back with open arms by Ponca City Public Schools to be a teacher here. I feel blessed to be back home and currently standing within the very building that I've done a lot of growing up in. This May marks, like he said, my 10 years since I graduated and left the school to achieve my dreams. I love teaching, and education holds a very special place in my heart, but it wasn't until recently I realized just how political this profession really is sometimes. And it broke my heart because I know that many hardworking, dedicated teachers all over Oklahoma, but I think we have some of the best here in Ponca City. You see this by looking at the nominees, but by also looking at their overwhelming support from community, family, friends who are here in celebration of them. Teaching is a very noble profession, no matter what. We support each other, we get upset, we pull each other back together. We laugh and make jokes, we pray together, and we always have each other's backs. We are a strong team that helps each other reach our goals, whatever they may be. There is no place that would make me feel more loved, respected, honored, and humbled than right here in Ponca City, Oklahoma. Last thing that I'd like to say is, once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat.
Next, I would like to introduce Miss Trina Lyles Sims, and she's with the Friends of Education, and she has a wonderful presentation for Katie. Katie, you've represented us well, by the way.
On behalf of the Friends of Education Committee, we'd just like to say how proud we are, and we know the things that she did this year to represent us. It's a wonderful, wonderful school system, and I know she's proud to be a part of it, and I'm proud to be a Friend of Education.
All right, now the moment you've all been waiting for is the infamous video of our candidates for Teacher of the Year. Our network engineer, Mr. Chris Adams, and Mary Ladd, our community relations and media coordinator, put together the video, and I'm sure it will be wonderful. Give these two a big round of applause. They worked a lot of hours to compile and produce this video.
With Quinn. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, sister, pick out your recipe. Okay, Quinn, tell us your first ingredient in your friendship stew.
7 flowers.
Okay, we are all going to help her count 7 flowers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good job. Okay, Quinn, what's the next ingredient?
No one should be scribbling on the insides. We're just outlining it like my dotted line. What's this called? Perimeter! Now, show me with your hands. Show me area. Show me area. I see some of you going, right? You're filling in the inside, and I see some of you counting. Some of you are counting the individual squares. That's area. Oh, pick it up.
Zoe, help Jocelyn out. What's her word? What's the word you're trying to help her with?
Tame.
Tame. Why is it tame and not tam?
Because the magic E makes it say
You are correct.
yeah.
The magic E makes the vowel say its name.
And then
Goldie, tell me about Riley's word. What word does she have?
tame.
Oh, look at her word again. Look at the beginning sound.
What goes in the yellow sentence? Iona,
The name of the articles.
the names of the articles. Who can tell me, what are the names of the articles? Italian?
O is for Oriole and Road to Petroville.
Correct. And what has to go around the articles so that you know that those are writings that people have done?
Quotation.
Quotation marks, opening and closing on each one of them.
Ready?
16.
Yes! Okay, KJ, Alexander. Okay, next two. You ready? Here we go.
10.
Good. So you go to the end, Carter.
I go
Okay,
easy.
here we go. Oh, both of you got knocked out. Okay. James and Kylie.
I got a 3.
Okay.
Great job, everybody. Everybody look over here on our targets today. At the very bottom, you can see it says display, show more than one volume when playing or counting. Do we have more than one volume throughout this section? Of course we do. Okay, everybody say I. I. Got this. Got this. Start back at 9 and actually display more than one volume.
Are you going to go back to check your goal? Okay, well, let's go back and look at your dash one more time. Okay, so change it to the 80%. And so you have 65. All right, now let's go down to the more information. And how much have you increased?
It is 57.
57 words per minute. Okay, well, and that's good then.
Now, once we've got our total monthly expenses, now we've got to times that by 12 months to get our annual expenses. So we're going to take our 1320 right here, Go ahead and times that by 12, yeah. Okay, what you got?
15,840.
Okay, 15,840. Now, that's our yearly expenses, okay? In order to find our debt to income ratio now, we've got to take our yearly expenses and we're gonna go ahead and divide those by what she makes annually, which
I wonder if it's like this. No, I can't read that. See how this is like that?
Oh yeah, that's
Kinda?
the key whatever I looked at, but
Oh, okay, so they didn't go with this.
it might be like this. Yeah, it's right here. What you do T or the.
You're talking about her.
What did, or wait, about the top, the ball, like controlling her.
Okay, who's she being controlled by? Okay, there's a good spot when she is testifying where it's when Atticus asks her, does your dad love you? And remember, her dad sits up and looks at her. He pins her with his eyes.
Yeah, she stops talking.
Yeah, and she stops talking. Good memory.
The beginning sound of hat. Hat. Write that on your board and show me. Yes. 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 Show me the beginning sound of hat. Good. Good. Good job. Very nice. Kason, can you tell me the beginning sound of hat? H. Very nice job. Clear off your boards.
Do you want my turn to break the balloon? Say mine.
She'll do blue in a minute. There's what? No, we're not doing paper. She'll do blue. Here, I'll set the blue balloon right there.
Turn. Your turn?
No.
There's your
Say
turn.
Up.
Oh.
You wanted to break?
Say up.
Say break. Break.
Up. You want to throw it up?
Break.
Oh, here we go, Rain. Play. What do you want to do, Layla?
What's the very beginning of that ballad give you? A description of who?
Big John.
Of Big John. So if this is a ballad and it starts with a storyline, what part of the plot was that?
Exposition.
The exposition. It's explaining to you the characters, right? Because now he's going to talk about this character through the rest of it. Okay?
Big John, Big Bad John.
Come together right now over me.
Good evening. My name is Curtis Layton. I'm the Executive Director of Human Resources, and I have the privilege tonight of introducing you to our nominees for all of our sites. Before I do that, I would like all of our past Teachers of the Years and nominees to please stand and be recognized this time. Thank you. At this time, I'd like for our nominees for our different buildings to begin making their way to the side and lining up, please. I told my wife that as this was going on, there would be a long pause, and I told her I'd probably tell a joke, and she said, please don't. But against advice of counsel, I'm going to tell one anyway. So, what's the difference between a hippo and a zippo? A hippo is heavy, and a zippo is a little lighter. That's what you get when you have an ex-middle school principal stand up and speak. So, okay, at this time, again, I get the privilege of introducing our nominees, and I always enjoyed this part of the program the most because you get to hear, you get to hear the reason why all teachers are teaching. You get to hear from the kids, and this is one of the, I think, the best part of the program, and I'm honored to have the privilege of leading it. Our first nominee is Miss Jordan Biester from Garfield. Jordan, if you mark your way this way, yes ma'am. Jordan teaches 3rd grade at Garfield Elementary, and this is what her students have to say. Our first student is Becca, and she says, "Dear people, I think Miss Biester is a teacher that teaches us in fun ways. When we are good, we get to do something fun. She is never rude. As a class, we are very smart and very ready to learn. She reads to us, lets us do math facts, and makes creative. She is the best. She certainly is a teacher of the year, all right." Jelena says, "Miss Biester is caring and smart. She is talented with a kind heart. She is what you can count on. She cares for you." Dylan says, "She teaches her class and doesn't yell at us. She helps when we need help and is never mean. She buys us all popcorn. She lets us take off our shoes and do Kahoot, and even get in the tub. She lets us eat the donuts she buys." And Jade says, "Mrs. Biester is beautiful and kind and caring, and she shines like a diamond. She has a perfect personality, and she is always ready and happy to teach us." And finally, another student says, "You make me learn so well and make me shine so bright like a diamond." Jordan Biester, 8th grade at Garfield. Our next teacher is Miss Sarah Orr. Mrs. Orr is representing Liberty this evening, but also teaches music at Liberty and Roosevelt. Talia says, "Mrs. Orr is nice and a good singer. She helps all of us when we need help with notes." Cameron says, "Mrs. Orr is a great music teacher. She helps us when we make mistakes." And Evan said, "She's really nice and pretty." Beatrice says, "Mrs. Orr tries to make everything fun. She teaches us new notes and songs." And Lainey finishes up, "Mrs. Orr is a nice person. It is cool how she plays the piano and other instruments. She shows us different music websites that we can do at home." Sarah Orr from Liberty. Our next nominee is Miss Brooke Williams. Brooke teaches first grade at Roosevelt, and Colt said, I really like being in Miss Williams' class because sometimes she lets us go outside to do our reading. Going outside does help your brain, you know. Zach said, she had this really cool wildlife wall, and when we were doing science, we got to make these terrariums. I still remember that. I wish we could do that again. Lena, a former student of Miss Williams, said, oh my gosh, Miss Williams was like my favorite teacher. She is so sweet and nice. Every time I saw her, even after I had her, I mean every time, she always hugged me. When I was working on my list A and list B in first grade, I remember she spent so much time helping me learn. She is a really good teacher. And another former student, Anaya, said, when I had her in first grade, she was so encouraging and funny. I love Miss Williams. I still have my pictures of her that I took with her on the last day of school, and I'm in 4th grade. Brooke Williams from Roosevelt. I'm going to backtrack because I left one off and this one's too good not to say. Another student, Lyle, says, when we don't do yoga in the gym in the morning, we get to do it in our class. We do yoga because it helps your mind be calm and stuff. I really like it when we do it in our class, but Miss Williams probably should work on being more stretchy and bitty. Our next nominee is Miss Karen Heersche. Miss Heersche is a 5th grade teacher at Trout. And Italia wrote, Miss Heersche is an excellent teacher because she lets us have free time ever so often. She's very funny, but the reason I like her most is because she loves us all. Sophie says, Miss Heersche is a very loving person. She has a high tolerance level and is very beautiful. She also has a great sense of humor and can explain her lessons in a way everyone can understand. She encourages people to work hard and never give up. I really believe she deserves this Teacher of the Year. Zach says, the reason why Miss Heersche is the Teacher of the Year is because she is caring and nice and loving to all of her students in her class, because she never gives up on the students, and we will never give up on her. Thank you for all you do for all of the schools. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Danica says, Miss Heersche is a very loving person. She is that teacher that everyone wants to have. She is funny, kind, awesome, and an excellent Teacher of the Year. And AJ finishes up. Mrs. Heersche makes her teaching relatable to our lives and makes everything easy to understand. She always has the right instruction and always knows what to do. She is very calm and understanding. I'm very glad she's my teacher. Miss Karen Heersche from Trout. Our next nominee, Miss Ashley Magnus. Ashley teaches 2nd grade at Woodlands, and Seth says, it makes me very happy when Miss Magnus gives us free choice, but you have to get your work done first. Connor says if you get free tickets, Miss Magnus will give you gum. With 10 tickets, you can choose 2 things from the treasure box. Sam stated, I like Miss Magnus' class because she has good books. Lots of good books. And James says, Miss Magnus lets us play lots of games. I like the spelling game Sparkle. Sometimes I win. And Katie Jo finished, Miss Magnus is fun to have as a teacher. Sometimes she calls students out just for fun when you're not really in trouble. You know she's teasing because she laughed. Oh, she does. Ashley Magnus. Our next nominee, Miss Megan Stafford. Megan is a teaches pre-K at Washington. And Jeremy says of Miss Stafford, I like Miss Stafford a lot. We do a lot of work and I really like the Lego Center. Albie says she's great. She's a nice teacher and she makes up good stories with picture cards. Miliana says, I'm going to get something from her on Valentine's Day. I really like that we play centers. I hug her and she hugs me back. Bethany says she is nice, she makes crafts, and we follow her instructions always. Eli says, Miss Stafford loves us and helps us learn stuff. And Kennedy says, I love her because she teaches everyone and helps us learn. She is so beautiful. Miss Megan Stafford from Washington. Our next nominee, Mr. Andrew Orr. Mr. Orr teaches band at West, and I also teaches at the high school. Mr. Blake says about Mr. Orr is a good teacher and knows how to play many instruments. He can also be very funny. Zachary says Mr. Orr is a good band teacher, and he's really good at teaching people how to play their instruments. I like his class because it is full of good people, and he does a good job at keeping calm. Cayman says, I like Mr. Orr because he's generous and teaches us new things. Fabian responds, Mr. Orr is the best and is my favorite teacher. In band, when I make a mistake, he helps me get better at what I'm doing. He is calm, makes jokes. Everybody is happy, and that's what makes his class so fun. And Erica said, Mr. Orr is a great band director. He keeps the band together. He is so nice to us. He jokes with us, but he seriously needs to be. Andrew Orr, a band at West. Our next nominee, Ms. Chawnte Sober. Chawnte is the reading teacher at West. And Kylie says of Mrs. Sober is so nice and so thoughtful, even to her interesting children. She was always willing to help. I enjoy being in her class, and I'm so happy to see her every day. Geneva says she's a wonderful reading teacher. She gives us treats and candy when we win Kahoot. She helps us with our reading. She also helps us work in groups and help each other. Judith says, Mrs. Sober is an awesome teacher because she will help me if I don't understand the work that we are doing. She also has lots of patience. She is nice and thoughtful about all of her students, even the ones she does not have in her class. Anthony says, I like Miss Sober's class because I get a chance to settle in and read a book and feel relaxed. And Trinity finishes up with, when I came to West, I kind of felt left out. But after I met Miss Sober, I felt I could do anything. We love Miss Sober, and I am thankful she's my reading teacher. Chawnte Sober, reading teacher at West. Our next nominee is Miss Beth Fredricks. Beth teaches study skills at Poe High. And Miss Fredricks, or Lane says about Miss Fredricks, she is the best, and she helps me with everything. Overall, she's the best teacher I ever had. And Elena says, Mrs. Fredricks always helps me do my work when I need direction. She is sweet, kind, and fun to talk to. She is so kind to me and others in the class. I want to be in her class next year. Thank you for letting me have this opportunity to explain every way she is good to us. Ethan says, Miss Fredricks is the best. She encourages me and my classmates to do our best. And Cody says, Mrs. Fredricks is nice. She expects us to do our work, but she is really nice about it. And Jacob finishes, Mrs. Fredricks is nice to me, even when I'm mad at her. Miss Fredricks, study skills at Ponca. Our next nominee, Miss Jaimee Miller. Jaimee teaches special education at Poe High and is also a volleyball coach. And Bobby says of Miss Miller, I like Miss Miller because she's a good coach and a good teacher. She is always there for me. One of her former athletes said Jaimee Miller would be a great teacher of the year because her hard work ethic, incredible coaching skills, and her patience and love for her students. I've known Jaimee for 10 years and she shaped me into the athlete I am today. She works so hard to better her students and help them excel. Jaimee is an amazing teacher, a wonderful person, and I am lucky to have her as my coach. Brandon says, well, it's very simple. Miss Miller is one of the best teachers. She does a really good job teaching class, and also she's helpful to everyone, and she cares about us. And Carly says, Coach Jaimee, you have given me one of the greatest gifts anyone could ever give me. You taught me the game of volleyball that has been my release, my safe haven, my heart, my everything. You taught me to love the game and to play for that. You taught me to always work harder than anyone else. You taught me how to fight and stay strong. You always, always, always supported me. You taught me passion for the game and for life. You have given me so many things and invested much time into my life and future. I hope one day I can be as good a coach as you and have as big an impact on other athletes as you've had on me. And Jordan says, she's everything because she's my teacher. Jaimee Miller from PreK. Our next nominee is Barbara Scherich. Barbara teaches English at PreK. And Macy says, Ms. Scherich, she is a very good teacher because she has your best interest at heart. She always wants to help her students as much as she can. She handles obstacles that come at her well, from what I can tell. That is a very good thing to be able to do as a teacher. Another student says, I like Ms. Scherich because she makes the subjects very easy to comprehend and understand. She is very friendly and approachable. She makes the classroom feel like a safe and relaxing place where I can do my work. If she gets the Teacher of the Year award, it will be very, very well deserved. Connor says, I'm glad Ms. Scherich is up for the award. She makes me laugh and I learn things. Win-win. Ms. Scherich is a good teacher. She is almost always in a good mood. She is patient with me when I don't understand. And Shelby finishes off saying, honestly, I wasn't sure what to think about Ms. Scherich at the beginning of the year. Now she's my favorite. Ms. Scherich from PreK. Our next nominee is Josh Swain. Coach Swain teaches PE and other subjects at Wildcat Academy. And Douglas says, I think Coach Swain is a good guy. He's always nice, ready to help. He keeps people on task and makes sure they're always working so they can reach their goal for the week. I can definitely see why he's Teacher of the Year. Madison said, there are a few of the things I appreciate about Coach Swain. One, he is always willing to help his students out. Another, he is always pushing us to do our best. He has definitely made a great impact on my life. John says, he's a great teacher, always supportive. He's great. It's spelled G-R with an H. Caitlin says, I've been lucky enough to have Coach Swain as my mentor teacher for the past 2 years at Wildcat. He is always willing to help with anything and make sure you're always on track with your classes. He definitely puts his students at first and does anything and everything he can to make sure you walk across that stage. And Thomas says, Coach Swain is a real cool dude. He is very helpful and checks to see if help is needed. He never thinks negative and can inspire others. And Grace finishes with students would sometimes have their music cranked way up. He would always comment on the artist they're listening to, especially if it's classic rock. So you know he has good taste. Josh Swain from Wildcat Academy. Okay, next we get to introduce the first of our 3 finalists. And our first finalist is Cherie Hampl. Ms. Hampl teaches English at East Middle School. And Daphne says, I am so happy Ms. Hampl won Teacher of the Year for East. She really deserves it. Ms. Hampl is the most kind, considerate, and generous person I know. She doesn't get mad at the little things, and thank goodness she has a sense of humor because she really knows how to pick us up when we're feeling down. She has been an amazing teacher. I cannot be more proud of her. She is very calm and laid back, but not too laid back. She still gets the job done. Congratulations, Ms. Hampl. You deserve it. And Jacob says, being one of Ms. Hampl's students this year has been fun. She's funny and good at teaching. She's not what you would expect when you hear the words English teacher. Nearly every lesson so far has been fun and easy to learn. I'm glad I got to experience her class and hope that next year's class gets to enjoy her as much as I do. And Priscilla says, Ms. Hampl is the most energetic, creative, and exciting teacher I've ever had. Ms. Hampl is able to make learning fun and keep an uplifting attitude that makes you want to learn. When I heard Ms. Hampl was Teacher of the Year, I was not surprised. She's an amazing teacher, and she deserves this. Caitlin says, Ms. Hampl is a loving and caring teacher that does her best with us. She does her best to keep up our grades, not only in her class, but in all of our classes, showing us that she really cares about us. She also makes funny remarks during class that makes us crack up. And Javier says, Ms. Hampl is a really great leader and example for many students. She's strict when she needs to be, but she likes to have fun at the same time. and that makes her unique and special. Ms. Hampl from East Middle School. Our next finalist is Miss Lindsay Roehl. Lindsay is a kindergarten teacher at Lincoln, and Asia says, she's the best teacher. She's so talented and smart. I love when she uses her funny voice to read books. And Eli says, she lets us play blocks on Fun Friday. I like it when she does fun math. I love that she gets the spray when someone does a Wendy. It's kindergarten. So. And Camilla says she's nice, always kind to her class. She's always makes kids feel good. Malaya said hers a great teacher. Hers so nice. She takes care of us or helps us learn to read. I love when her dances with us on brain breaks. And Clayton says she is nice. She is the best teacher. On my first day of the school, the fire alarm went off and I was in the bathroom. I ran outside with my pants down. She came and helped me. Miss Lindsay Roehl from Lincoln. And our last finalist is Miss Jessica Wyckoff. And Miss Wyckoff teaches special education at Union. We have a combination of quotes from her colleagues and from her students. Janetta, a colleague, says, Jessica makes me better by showing me limitless possibilities. She collaborates with me and the students are the winners. She thinks of all the students in the school, not just those in her classroom. I am lucky to have the chance to work alongside her. And Kelly says, Jessica Wyckoff is an amazing teacher to work under. She is always positive and upbeat when teaching. She really cares for the kiddos and their ability to learn. She is always coming up with new methods of learning. She's a great advocate for the special needs community. And Amanda says, I don't think there could be a better choice for Teacher of the Year than Miss Wyckoff. She's amazing with her students. She is a master at the art of teaching. She performs her job with ease, knowledge, confidence, and a great sense of humor. She's a huge advocate for each of her students. She's also patient and understanding. I want to be like her when I grow up. She's a great leader. And some of our student comments. Draven said, the teacher? Yeah. Layla says, I do love teacher Jessica. Chase says, I like her. Kaylee says, I love her. And Jacob said, she helps me with lots of things. Sometimes I like her, sometimes not. Jessica Wyckoff from Union.
Congratulations to all our nominees and our finalists, and I'll have to say that I wish we could give every candidate and nominee this award because they are all so well deserving. Give them a big round of applause. And I truthfully do not know who the winner is. I wanted to be surprised and everybody hid it from me, but I can keep a secret better than no other. Just ask my friends. So the winner is the 2019 Ponca City Public Schools Teacher of the Year is Ms. Lindsay Roehl.
That I am delighted and humbled to receive this award would be a massive understatement. I would like to congratulate the other two finalists and say that I am truly honored to be your colleague. The amazing work you do every day to help our students is truly appreciated. I would also like to thank all of the people involved in the Teacher of the Year process. You have made this an unforgettable experience for me. Teaching for me is a lifelong dream come true. I always wanted to be a teacher, and as many teachers do, I grew up teaching my teddy bears and baby dolls. Back then, though, teaching was pointing at an imaginary chalkboard and imploring my students to learn their ABCs. As I grew older, I realized that teaching is much more than chalkboards, stickers, and recess. Teaching is about showing students that they are loved
and wanted and important, which is something that not all of them have at home. You see, if my students don't know that they are precious and important, then the ABCs don't truly matter. I walk into my classroom every morning knowing that there are lessons and benchmarks that my students must reach, but most importantly, I know it is my job to show them love and compassion and to be the sunshine in their lives. So I will continue to embrace my role as the provider of wet paper towels and Band-Aids, which always seem to make everything so much better. Becoming a successful teacher was not accomplished solely on my own. Without God, I would not be here today, and I am continually thankful for His guidance. I am forever grateful to my family for always supporting my dream and making sacrifices to help me attain my goals, no matter what the cost. To Kaylee, Colton, and Miss Smith, and the others that helped me prepare my portfolio, I cannot express enough how much of a help you truly were. To my amazing colleagues at Lincoln, especially my principals, thank you for fighting the good fight with me every single day, and for sometimes providing us with chocolate to help keep us sane. I could not do my job without each and every one of you. I am thankful for my students who make me work so very hard for them each and every day, and they have truly instilled in me what it means to have the heart of a Lincoln Lion. I could not ask for better students than the ones that I have at Lincoln. They make me who I am, and they have blessed my heart forever. Several years ago in college, I was told that I might just change the world one day, and maybe, just maybe, I'm starting to prove them right. Thank you all again for selecting me to represent you as the 2019 Ponca City District Teacher of the Year.
At this time, I would like to introduce Ms. Patsy Williams from the Ponca City School Foundation to make the presentation to Ms. Roehl, our District Teacher of the Year.
On behalf of the trustees from the Ponca City School Foundation, I'd like to present this gift.
Now I'd like to introduce Miss Misty Jordan. She's from Newkirk Dental Center, and she is also going to make a presentation to Ms. Roehl.
On behalf of Newkirk Dental Center, I'd like to say congratulations and also give you the
We also have Representative Steve Vaughn with a proclamation for you, Miss Lindsay.
Is Senator Fields here anywhere out there? I wanted to ask first. He asked me when he came to my office this morning, would you please give this to her? I don't think I'll be there. And since I've known her since she was this big, she goes to our church. And don't know if anybody can do it better. It's awesome. Thank you for what you do. Okay? Whereas among the most honorable and notable professions is that of an educator of young people, a profession to which all too few are called. Whereas Lindsay Roehl is an excellent example of such an educator, serving as an inspiration to her students, fellow educators, and the community with her dedication and enthusiasm as a classroom teacher. And whereas the Oklahoma legislature hereby commends Lindsay Roehl, Teacher of the Year 2019 for the Ponca City District of Ponca City. Congratulations, Lindsay.
Congratulations, Lindsay, to our finalists. And if you want to have a seat, Lindsay, we'll bring you back up here to have some pictures. Tonight, I want to congratulate the candidates, but most importantly, I want to thank every public educator in this room tonight publicly. Thank you for being willing to work long, tireless hours for modest pay and minimal status when you could surely work somewhere else making more money with less stress and greater prestige. Thank you for trying to figure out every day how to manage the increasing needs of so many children and for loving the ones who are hard to love because they make your days so difficult. As education funding in Oklahoma continues to diminish and the challenges you face in the classroom continue to increase, I urge all of you to be mindful of opportunities in the near future, to speak up, to speak out, and be heard. As professionals, we must thoughtfully, deliberately, and unequivocally strive to make education reform in Oklahoma a priority. We must continue to work to create a culture that truly values education. Everyone in this room knows that dedication and energy required for our profession is virtually immeasurable. Our work, the work of reaching and teaching every student, is all-consuming, emotionally draining, and often thankless. We contend with variables most adults in the private industry don't even understand: the ever-changing emotional and academic needs of children, each of whom is struggling to find a personal identity in this community and in the larger world. Countless hours of planning, preparation, reflection, and collaboration occur in classrooms and professional learning communities across each site to support student learning and provide professional development opportunities for shared leadership experiences to foster professional growth. Many of you work a second or third job to support your habit of teaching. That's unacceptable. Oklahoma must do better. Consequently, we have to commit to being more visible and more vocal by sharing our stories of the classroom. Only we can share an honest vision of what actually occurs in those classrooms. If we truly want to extend our reach and impact change, we must demand to be acknowledged, recognized as true professionals. We must advocate on behalf of ourselves and our students. Advocacy, however, is a shared responsibility. It allows us to unite our voices and have a greater impact as we move forward. We must work as a team in these critical times, because together we are better. For the first time in Ponca City history, for as far as I know, not only do we have an academic mission, which is to ensure that all students are prepared to live and work in a global society, but we also have cultural missions. In fact, we have two this year, and I know the teachers in the room probably already know these missions. The first one is to develop a unified, positive working and learning environment to foster teacher retention, which leads to student success. And I'll have to tell you, this is my 35th year as an educator, and many of you might be like me. When you first went out to the workforce, I was a nervous wreck about getting a job. I was scared to death. I honed up my interviewing skills. Now, the struggle is real. Ask Curtis Layton. I worry every single night about filling our positions. We have filled every position to date, but I do not know how much longer we can sustain that. I'll have to tell you, since the Step Up Oklahoma plan failed, we have had 3 teachers, 3 of our finest teachers that didn't leave Ponca City. They resigned, but they are leaving Oklahoma. They love Ponca City. They love our district, but they're leaving Oklahoma. In fact, I sent Representative Vaughn one of the resignation letters. A teacher just cannot afford to maintain her family in Oklahoma any longer. Here are some facts from last year. Last year, we lost 37 employees to something other than retirement or a spouse move. We actually lost 56, but we're not counting the retirees or if a spouse, if they were transferred with a spouse or a significant other, that was 11% of our certified staff. Guys, you know that experience makes a huge difference. We can't have a turnover like that every single year. We've already had several resignations, as mentioned, so we're hiring and looking for those dedicated professionals who are willing to work in Oklahoma. I have to tell you, we lost 79 support staff members, and you all know that we have more support now because we can't get enough teachers. We lost 20% of our support staff last year. Phenomenal numbers. As the course of education in Oklahoma evolves, continued collaboration and a spirit of unity remain critical. So what can we do? We can develop a positive culture here at PCPS by having a shared vision of our beliefs, ideologies, principles, and values for our district. We must diligently work to develop a sense of belonging, ensure students and teachers feel a sense of value, support, consistency, and security, and we must ensure everyone feels safe and welcome. The time has come to be present, be active, be engaged, become unified as one district, eliminate biases among sites and student subgroups, and promote the positive things we do. The time has come to be Team Ponca City Public Schools. We must be a magnet for teachers, support staff, students, and parents. We need them to join our wonderful district. Together, we're better. I told you we had 2 cultural missions. The second one is to promote and build school spirit and eliminate barriers for all students to be involved in any activity. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not have to tell you the challenges that we face with children. Without a doubt, we must get them involved in positive activities for which to occupy their time so they don't become involved in negative activities. The research is clear. The more students are involved in extracurricular activities, whether it be sports, any of our academic clubs, business clubs, leadership groups, or fine arts programs, the more likely they will find a sense of belonging and not seek negative attention. For this reason, you know we've made a deliberate effort to promote school spirit, live by the principles of the Wildcat Way in any activity, in the classroom, or throughout life. And if you don't know our Wildcat Way acrostic, W, work ethic, I, improve, L, leadership, D, discipline, C, compete, A, attitude, and T, teamwork. We did a little research. Last year, we had 49% of our students participate in an extracurricular activity, and that's clubs, student council, foreign language. I'm not talking just sports, any of our clubs. We need 100% of our students to be involved in some type of positive school activity, and that's our goal. I know that the resolution that we are all becoming Wildcats next year has faced some adversity. Change is uncomfortable, but attracting our students to becoming involved is on our shoulders. In the fall, you may remember we did the March the Halls initiative. We brought the pep band, the cheerleaders, the senior football players, the high steppers, and we went through every site, played the fight song. We wanted our students to see the Wildcats. And at the beginning of the school year, I went to our highest poverty schools and spoke with our teachers. I wanted their input on how we could eliminate barriers for students living in poverty to have academic success. And I was at one of our schools, an elementary school, and one of our teachers said to me, our kids don't have school spirit. And I said, what do you mean they don't have school spirit? She said, before you came out for the Walk the Halls initiative, I said, oh, boys and girls, get ready. The Wildcats are coming tomorrow. And her kids said, who are the Wildcats? Okay, shame on us. They need to know who the Wildcats are. They need to know that they are the Wildcats. We have encouraged this through spirit nights, our coaches and other club sponsors going out and talking to our students at assemblies. As you know, you may have attended one of our spirit nights at Robson, and we invited all of our schools and McCord and our private schools to come, and we gave every student there their Wildcat shirt. It has a Wildcat on the front and the Wildcat way on the back, and it doesn't matter what site I go to, someone has their Wildcat t-shirt on. And I see you all shaking your heads. Kids wear them maybe every day of the week, some of them do. But I see them. I even went to Lutheran for an event, and a Lutheran student had on the Wildcat shirt. I feel confident that a huge percent of our students know who the Wildcats are now. They are the Wildcats. In closing, I want to tell you that we have an unbelievable staff at PCPS. You work tirelessly on behalf of students and serve incredibly important roles in the lives of so many. Your impact is profound and reaches the places and depths that in many cases you don't even realize or see. The lives you touch and the service you provide are unspeakable. I want to thank you for doing the most important work of all, educating the next generation, which is the real hope for our world, for creating peace and solving our intense problems. Thank you for modeling patience, honesty, courage, perseverance, wisdom, generosity, and a commitment to lifelong learning to the best of your ability. Most of all, thank you for everything you have done and will continue to do to create a better future. There is no other profession that so directly shapes the world of tomorrow. The love you demonstrate for our students, our school, and our community is shaped what Ponca City Public Schools are known for. I am incredibly proud to serve as your superintendent and work alongside each and every one of you. Thank you for being a teacher and being a member of Team Ponca City Public Schools. I hope you have a wonderful evening.